In a quiet little town lived Hamdan, a young man with dreams as big as the city skyline. His widowed mother, Ammi Zainab, had raised him all by herself, her love stitched into every seam of the clothes she tailored to make ends meet. After getting married, Hamdan moved to the bustling city, and slowly, the distance between him and his mother began to grow, not just in miles, but in heartbeats. His wife would often complain, "Your mother interferes in everything. I just don't like her old-fashioned ways." Hamdan, caught between his new life and his old one, found himself pulling away. His weekly visits to his mother turned into monthly calls, and soon, he only saw her on Eid. The warmth of his childhood home was becoming a distant memory. One evening, his wife planted a seed of an idea that would change everything. "Listen," she said, her eyes gleaming, "if we sell your mother's old house, we can finally afford that big, beautiful apartment downtown." Hamdan felt a pang in his chest. That house wasn't just bricks and mortar. It held the scent of his father's books, the echo of his childhood laughter. The wall in his old room still had the pencil marks charting his growth, a ladder of memories climbing towards the ceiling. But greed is a quiet, persuasive whisper. It promised a better life, a modern future. And so, with a heavy heart, Hamdan agreed. When he broke the news to his mother, he braced himself for arguments, for tears, for anger. But Ammi Zainab just looked at him with a sad, knowing smile. She didn't fight, she didn't complain. She only said, "Son, sell the house. But please don't sell the memories." Hamdan didn't quite understand what she meant then. He was too blinded by the shiny new future he was chasing. The house was sold. His mother, without a word of protest, moved into a small, rented room in a quiet corner of the city. Life as it does moved on. Hamdan and his wife settled into their spacious new apartment, the one bought with the price of his past. A few months later, a new joy entered Hamdan's life. His daughter, Aliyah, was born. She was a tiny bundle of light, and her laughter filled every corner of their big apartment. He loved her more than words could say. He promised himself he would give her the world. One afternoon, as he was playing with Aliyah in her beautiful sunlit room, she looked up at him with her big, innocent eyes and asked a question that felt like a dagger to his heart. "Baba," she said, "when I grow up, will you sell my room to someone?" The words hung in the air, heavy and sharp. In that single shattering moment, everything came rushing back. He saw his mother's empty eyes as she handed him the keys. He smelled the dust of his childhood toys being packed away. He felt the cold finality of locking the door to his old home for the very last time. He had sold the house. And he had thrown away the memories. Before he could find the words to answer his daughter, his phone rang, jolting him back to the present. It was his mother's landlord. The voice on the other end was grim. "Your mother, Zainab Bibi, is in the hospital. She's very weak." Hamdan's world spun. He rushed to the hospital, his heart pounding a frantic, guilty rhythm against his ribs. He found her lying in a sterile white bed, looking smaller and more fragile than he had ever seen her. She was clutching a small worn cloth pouch to her chest, as if it were her most precious possession. He gently took her hand. She opened her eyes, and tears streamed down her weathered cheeks. With a trembling hand, she opened the pouch. Inside, Hamdan saw his entire childhood. There was a broken toy car, his very first one. A faded drawing of a house with a smiling sun, which he had made for her when he was 5. His late father's old, scratched watch. And a single rusted key, the key to the home they no longer had. She looked at him, her voice a faint whisper. "Son," she said, "I let go of everything. The house, the furniture, all of it. But I couldn't let go of you. I kept your memories safe." Hamdan broke down. The sound of his sobs filled the quiet hospital room. It was a cry of profound, gut-wrenching regret. He finally understood. He hadn't just sold a building of bricks and wood. He had sold his mother's entire world, the sanctuary of love she had built for him, all for the price of a fancy apartment. He spent the next few months trying to make amends. He moved his mother into a better place, visited her every day, and surrounded her with care. But some wounds are too deep to heal. Despite the best medical treatment, Ammi Zainab's health continued to decline. And one day, she passed away peacefully in her sleep. At her funeral, as Hamdan stood numb with grief, his little daughter Aliyah squeezed his hand. She looked up at him, her eyes reflecting a wisdom far beyond her years, and said, "Baba, you won't ever sell my memories now, will you?" And in that moment, Hamdan finally understood the true meaning of what goes around, comes around. He felt the full weight of his actions, a circle of consequence completed. Life had brought his own choices back to him, reflected in the eyes of his own child. The moral of this story is a simple but powerful one. Never, ever trade your relationships for material comforts. A house can be bought again, a bigger apartment can be found. But a mother's heart, once broken, can never be rebuilt. The memories we make with the people we love are the only treasure that truly lasts a lifetime. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that makes you think. Take care of your loved ones.